Fans, at this time, could you direct your attention to the 50-yard line and join us as we honor the 2024 Girls Soccer State Championship team by presenting them their state championship rings. The Gators defeated East Scott 1-0 in the state championship match. The team was led by head coach John Robertson, assistant coach Dave Miranda, and managed by Lindsey Kastner. Number 1, a sixth grader, Kinley Edwards. Number 2, a freshman, Nicole Bowen. Number 3, a freshman, Elle Matthews Wilson. Number 4, a senior, Caitlin Johnston. Number 5, a junior, Lily Hanses. Number 6, sophomore, Emma Barnes. Number 7, senior, Ella Cooper. Number 13, sophomore, Lily Curtis. Number 10, 8th grader, Alice Corbett. Number 11, freshman, Malaya West Sanchez. Number 14, sophomore, Ray Ridge. Number 15, freshman, Lillian Moody. Number 16, senior, Kendall Keat. Number 83, sophomore, Abby Taylor. Number 19, sophomore, Ansley Holland. Number 20, 8th grader, Olivia Covert. Number 21, Number 24, 8th grader, Gabby Montroy. Number 25, junior, McKenna Kastner. And number 28, sophomore, Victoria Schwinn. We would also like to take a few minutes to honor Coach John Robertson. Coach Robertson was our first soccer coach when we started the program 20 years ago. He has always been a constant on and off the pitch. He has a career record of 277, 39, and 16, and has 8 state championships. Your contribution to the Glenwood Athletic Department will never be forgotten, but more than that, Coach Robertson, you will always be remembered for the joy you brought to our lives each and every day you were around us. You always found the good in everything and raised everyone's spirits. Thank you for your amazing dedication to Glenwood School, its student athletes, and this community. We love you, Coach. Let's hear it one more time for our girls soccer state championship team. Fans, please remove your caps and bow your heads as I say a word of prayer over tonight's game. Most graciously Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for the opportunity that we have to gather in fellowship to play and watch this great game of football. I thank you for the safe travels of Childersburg on the way here, and I pray for their safe travels home on the way home after the game tonight. Please keep all the players, officials, and fans safe, and let us glorify you in all that we do. In your name I pray. Amen. Fans, please remain standing and remove your caps as the Glenwood Band proudly presents our national anthem.
We are streaming live here on this rainy Friday. It's the Glenwood Gators coming in undefeated, taking on region foe Childersburg. Thrift Barringer on the call. Loving that I'm back here at this wonderful school they call the Swamp. It's literally a swamp out there right now, but I have a treat. I haven't been able to call with him here in the last couple of weeks. I share him with everyone because he is a huge part and just takes us professionally to a whole nother level. His name is Mike Peacock. Mike, what are you looking forward to tonight between Glenwood and Childersburg?
Well, Thrift, I want to see if Glenwood keeps their momentum going. They've started their first season in Alabama High School Athletic Association play undefeated. They've beaten some good teams. We saw the very first game. I got to be here for the very first game in Glenwood Public School football history.
Yep.
And they came back and had a huge win over Valley High School. And since then, they've gone on the road and beat a couple of pretty good football teams in Elba and B.B. Comer.
Yeah.
And, they're coming here tonight, another region game, back on their home turf, although that home turf is a little saturated tonight. But these guys have proven that they belong. And, that's the question that everybody had.
Right.
How is this first season going to go? Are they going to be able to play at this level? And they've proven with a resounding yes that they belong at this level.
Yeah, the emphasis on that yes part. But I've been so impressed what I've seen from Glenwood here in these first couple of weeks. And obviously it starts with the head man, Ryan Nelson. We just had his dad who's on the staff, Ron Nelson. You know him for a long time, Mike. He's the Chattahoochee Valley Hall of Famer. What Ryan has done, turning this program and turning the culture into what was private school maybe mindset to now public school mindset, this is why the transition was probably a little bit easier than most people thought.
Well, when you think about it, AISA football has changed a great deal over the last probably 20 years.
Yep.
And they progressively moved toward that public school mindset. Now, I mean, there's still private schools, and there's still plenty of them, and they've still got a great league. But a lot of them have started to play with more of an attitude, I guess, of the public schools. They're bringing in a whole lot more diversity into their programs and getting some really good players in that private school level. Parents are making the choices a lot of times now to have their kids play at private schools and have them go to school at private schools. So the talent level has risen greatly.
Yeah, no doubt it has. And we got a great one here tonight, Childersburg and Glenwood. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back after this.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC presents a fantastic lineup of popular full-size SUVs and mid-size trucks. Compare side by side. Take your choice from new Chevrolet Tahoes and GMC Yukons, discounted up to $7,000 off. Or Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyons, discounted up to $5,000 off. Experience unmatched durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect vehicle today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain Dew!
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC offers popular full-size trucks with a legacy of strength and durability. Side by side, the new Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500s, discounted up to $13,000 off. Or big, heavy-duty Chevy and GMC 2500s, discounted up to $8,000 off. Rugged durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect truck today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, here at Glenwood. Thrift Barringer, Mike Peacock. So last year, Dallas Crow, Mike, he had a phenomenal year as a senior. The guy was obviously had over 700 yards rushing. He had over 2,000 yards passing. The guy was an elite athlete. And the question was, what are they going to do to replace that type of level of production? And what I've seen from Levi Pender, as you saw a few weeks ago against Elba, he's had a pretty good job replacing him, hasn't he, Mike?
He really has. And, he looks good running this offense. And, as a whole, the offensive line has looked very good, very strong. That's one thing I was impressed with in the first ball game. The offensive line competed against a big line from Valley, they've been able to do pretty much what they want to do on offense.
Right.
And that was the question coming in: Are we going to be limited? Are we going to be able to do what we want to? And they've proven that they can do what they want to. And
now tonight, obviously, they want to get off to a hot start. We thought weather was going to be a factor. Now, the field is absolutely sloppy out there because of the rain, but there is the rain seemed like it's gone away. It actually is a decent crowd for the Glenwood people, so if you still want to come out, still time to come and check out your Gators. They're wearing the gray jerseys. I was talking with Noah Shelton, a guy that went to school here. His favorite jersey is the gray alternate jersey. I'm going to agree with him. I actually like that look with the white helmets. It looks very sharp. Childersburg with blue pants, white jerseys, and the white helmets with the C on the side. And without further ado,
got some stuff I'll share with you about Childersburg.
I cannot wait.
It's a little personal,
I can't wait. You're going to get plenty of Mike's nuggets throughout this broadcast, which makes it unique. And there is the kickoff, and it's going to be returned from Devontae Fairman. And Fairman gets thrown down to the 25. So let's hear that story, Mike.
Well, Thrift, when I started school as a first grader,
okay,
it was in Childersburg, Alabama.
Okay.
My father was a Baptist minister, and he pastored a church called Bon Air Baptist Church in Childersburg. It was in a mill village over there when the textile mills were going. Avondale Mills was big around Childersburg.
Right.
And so I started school. My sisters also went to school in Childersburg. My oldest sister almost graduated from Childersburg, but we moved right up the road to Alexander City before she graduated, and both of them ended up graduating at Benjamin Russell. But I lived a good little part of my childhood in Childersburg.
And there's the first play is a 1-yard handoff. But like you said, Mike, coming into this, and there was a penalty, I didn't even know where Childersburg was at. Okay, and there were several like Elba, and maybe that's just me not understanding Alabama. Even though I went to Glenwood, I didn't live in Alabama. I just went to Glenwood School.
Right.
And that penalty is actually on Childersburg. But I knew there was no doubt in my mind if someone's going to know where Childersburg was at, and obviously you even went to school there.
Yeah.
It's Mike Peacock.
Well, it's right on Highway 280. If you go from Columbus and you stay on Highway 280, go through Auburn, Opelika, and stay on 280 going north, you're going to go right through Childersburg on Highway 280. It's unavoidable. Now they're probably most famous for a huge paper mill they have over there, and you can smell it for miles.
Jake Johnson is the quarterback, and he hands it off, and no gain. Good job by that defensive line, just blowing it up. You're seeing the water spewing everywhere. We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC, Buffalo Rock Pepsi, and, of course, shout out to my guy, Judson Humphreys. I hope he's watching it right now. He owns the Zaxby's in Phoenix City. And I'm literally, every time I go and cover the Auburn Tigers, Mike, and you go up there and you watch Auburn too, I love stopping by that Zaxby's, get me a good kickin' chicken sandwich, and then heading to watch the Auburn Tigers blow a lead or Peyton Thorne throw 7 interceptions. But I still get the kickin' chicken sandwich, Mike.
Well, I've become very, very fond of the chicken finger tacos.
Okay.
The Chipotle
sauce
is my favorite. It is my favorite. Had it earlier this week, as a matter of fact. I have the Zaxby's right next to my house, and, we frequent there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And there is another handoff to set up 3rd down. Now let's get to the actual game, Mike.
Yeah.
In situations like this with the rain and everything with on the field, do you think that's going to change kind of the way the play calling is? As a former coach, are you changing the way, or are you going to still say to your strengths?
Well, you're going to try to protect the football as much as you can, and yes, you're going to have to modify some of your play calls, especially if you're a throwing offense. You're probably going to go to shorter throws. But if you're a running team, you're going to emphasize to your backs, protect the football.
And there's KJ Isom, who got a minimum game, but like you were saying, Mike, this is where a lot of turnovers can happen that can lead to easy touchdowns for the offense.
Footballs can get slick.
Yeah.
Believe me, they can get slick. And you saw right there when the tackle was made, you saw the water splashing up. So there's standing water out there that maybe you can't see as far as a puddle. But it was it's going to be tough going tonight, but we'll see what Glenwood does on the offensive side and how they respond. The defense set the tone early right there for the offense, so they've got 4th down and a punt coming up. Bad snap, almost blocked. It may have been partially blocked.
I think it was, and that one's going to roll all the way out of bounds, and it's going to set up great field position for the Glenwood Gators. Excellent job, great job minimizing any type of offensive production there on that drive. And then you made mention, Mike, the excellent block, and now they're going to set up deep inside Childersburg territory. Now we're going to see him. His name is Levi Pender. A few weeks ago against Elba, he was, I think the numbers were 22 of 24, 25 around there, 300 yards, multiple touchdowns. He didn't really throw any incompletions, Mike, and the guy's efficient. He knows Coach Nelson's offense, and he knows how to be a leader.
Yes, he does, and we're going to see what they decide to do. Since it has stopped raining, you might see the ball in the air a little bit more than you would have if we had continued with the rain showers that were going on. We're going to see what they do.
In the backfield with him is Mr. Brown, and he's going to get the handoff, and he's going to have a big hole. Jermaine Brown, who was player of the game during that Valley game the last time we did a Glenwood game.
Had an outstanding – he was one of about 4 players that had an outstanding game for Glenwood. We had a hard time coming up with who was going to be the player of the game.
Yeah.
But he had reeled off a couple of big runs in important situations, and he ended up being our player of the game. And he is a quality running back.
And he is a transfer that has come in and been utilized. And then you got Carter Judah. I mean, there is just a great trio of running backs. There's going to be an option play that –
blown up by Childersburg.
Yeah, great job. And then if you're Levi –
first guy over there for Childersburg was Tamarian Hartley. Came up from his defensive back spot over there. Read that play very well. They strung it out, and it really didn't have anywhere to go. And it's a loss for Glenwood on 2nd down.
And if you're Levi, I wonder if you just keep that, because that was especially with the ball can get wet, Mike. You don't want to surprise anyone with one of those pitches, and that could have been disastrous. So now we got 3rd down. It was 2nd down and short. Now it's 3rd down and 7. Brown in the backfield. Look at Mason McCrane, number 12. He's to the near side. They're actually going to hand it off to Brown. Brown's going to slip a tackle. Brown still on his feet. They're trying to bring him down, and it's going to set up 4th and short. Decision time, Mike. Do you go for it and stay aggressive here?
I think absolutely you go for it right here. You've got a quality running back. You've got a good offensive line. You want to grab the momentum early. You got 4th and about 3 here. So I think looks like they're bringing in another big back to probably do some blocking right there.
That's Emory Davis, the defensive lineman. So they're bringing someone like you made mention who's going to probably be a power back
yep.
to open the hole for Jermaine Brown. So Coach Nelson getting the signal in. You got McCrane here, single set. And I'm wondering if he's going to be a target for Levi Pender. Levi Pender drops a snap, but then is able to look at the broken play and then gets the 1st down.
Yep.
That's the playmaking ability of Levi Pender, Mike.
Absolutely. He just kind of – the ball, I don't know if the ball slipped out of his hand or whether he took his eye off of it, but it dropped right by his feet. He was able to pick it up and make a big play out of something that looked like it might have been a disaster there on 4th down.
And that could have been. And, again, keep your eye on the fact that the ball's going to be slippery. It's going to be wet. So Levi's got to make sure him and his center are on the same page and doesn't get caught off guard. Pender takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Brown. Brown's going to run to the outside and cut it in for about 4 or 5. Nice gain there, Mike, on 1st down.
Yeah, Cameron Smith was the guy who turned him in and actually got a hand on his feet as he went by. But they strung that play out. It's a good gain, but not a real substantial gain on 1st down. But you can tell the footing is suspect out there tonight.
Yeah, we don't want nobody getting hurt, but there's Brown. Look, he's trying to cut, and he's able to do that. Still on his feet.
Oh, look at him
pushing
drive
the pile into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah. What a run by
But
Brown.
you were talking about it's slippery out there, but it's obviously didn't have too much an effect on Brown. He was like he's side skating almost.
He used a lot of little side steps, a lot of little stutter steps, and kept driving his feet forward. And this is one thing I think we talked about in that Valley game, Thrift, is how well the Glenwood backs and receivers are taught to keep moving forward and not get caught up in all the side moves and all that kind of stuff. They keep moving forward. They run through contact, and he absolutely ran through contact right there and earned his way into the end zone.
Great drive for the Glenwood Gators to get up early, now make it as the extra point is up and good for Carter Hughes, and it's 7-0. We'll take a break. Great job by the Gators on the opening drive. They go up by 7. We'll be right back after this.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC presents a fantastic lineup of popular full-size SUVs and mid-size trucks. Compare side by side. Take your choice from new Chevrolet Tahoes and GMC Yukons discounted up to $7,000 off. Or Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyons discounted up to $5,000 off. Experience unmatched durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect vehicle today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown!
Woo. And we're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thrift Barringer and Mike Peacock. Gators get the ball deep in Childersburg territory because they blocked a punt. And then Jermaine Brown takes it in for 6. Hughes gets the kickoff, and here comes Childersburg on the return. Still on his feet, but finally brought down.
Decent return.
Cameron Smith. All right, now we talked about Glenwood. Let's talk about Childersburg. Obviously, you had a tough time last week against Lee Scott.
Yep.
They want to try to keep it close within Glenwood, but you don't want to get in a shootout with them. Obviously, Glenwood's got more firepower on offense.
Right.
What's your mindset if you were the coach for Childersburg, Mike?
Well, they've got to focus on what they do well, and I believe that is running the football. And they've got to open up some holes in the offensive line. They've got to get some positive plays going. Again, you don't want to get in a hole early on the road against a pretty good football team. You've got to have some success, and you've got to preach that to your kids and keep their mind on successful plays.
And Jacobson's going to actually hand it off to Cameron Smith, and there's one of those successful plays. Obviously, they're a team that likes to stay ahead of the sticks. They don't want to be in third down and 9 or 10. They'd rather be third down and 3 or 4. And if you're Glenwood, you know this, so try to put them in must-pass-down situations. That's probably a recipe for success for Glenwood on defense.
Absolutely, and you saw what happened to Childersburg on the first drive. They had a 10-yard penalty right off the bat.
That was
got them behind the chains, and they weren't able to do much after that. With these conditions, you've got to run the ball, but they're a running football team anyway. So.
And there he is going to hand it off.
Oh, wow, he's met.
And he got
it. I didn't see. Let's see who that was. I believe. And I still can't see the number. That was number 10, I believe, for Glenwood.
It was.
Klein Edwards with a big shot right there.
Yeah, and that was Cameron Smith, but he also kind of bobbled the snap. And now it's going to be third down and 5 for Childersburg.
That's the other thing. You've got to get with your centers and snappers tonight, and you got to preach to them, guys, we've got to have clean exchanges. The punt bounced a while ago. It almost got blocked.
And they're going to hand it off to Smith again, and Smith
they're
blowing it up. Give number 13 credit for that, Mike. He just blew that play up.
Yeah, Emory Davis and Asher Long over there on that right side for the Glenwood defense, they sealed that end off over there. The back had nowhere to go, and it's 4th down and long now. After a really successful first down play, They went backwards 2 plays in a row, and that's not what Childersburg wants to do.
Set to return for the Gators is number – I think that's number 1, Makai Sampson. I'm going to get his number here in just a moment. But I want to give credit to, I think, one of the best defensive minds in our area, Josh McConnell. And I was almost blocked again, but able to get off a decent punt. That's actually Com
That's the
Cooper.
live ball.
And the ball's on the ground.
Got it.
And now Childersburg, because Com was not able to collect that cleanly, gets the turnover, and that's not what you wanted to see if you're the Gators.
And a coaching point right here that he's probably going to get on the sidelines tonight, if that ball's over your head like that,
you gotta
let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
But you feel like a lot of these players, too, they don't want to give up a lot of yards there. They want to start in good field position. They think they can make any play, but with it being wet, don't even take the chance of it turning into what that was, a turnover.
Yeah, and he was running away from it.
No.
And, just hit his hands and slipped through his hands, and he wasn't able to stop because of the footing. they're going to tell him, look, if that happens again, just let it go. And it's not going to roll very far on this turf tonight anyway. It's probably going to hit and stick, and, be safe.
Jacobson in at quarterback. And actually, we got a timeout right now. Oh, an official timeout. So while they take one,
I'm assuming, Thrift, that this is the heat timeout, but
is it hot, Mike?
It's
75 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's
But do they still have to do it no matter what?
I think they have to do it to a certain point in the season. They're required to do these. So, good to take a little break every now and then.
Carver actually leads Northside 18-0 at halftime.
Wow.
That is a shocker, to say the least. And then the other part of our triple header, as Flint River leads Calvary 14-0 with 4:26 remaining, and they're actually driving deep in Calvary territory in the first half there. It's Mike Peacock, Thrift, Barringer, Georgia Alabama Sports Live High School Football Showcase. And now Coach McConnell trying to instruct his players on what's happening next. But the Gators get a win here. They go to 4-0, Mike. And obviously, we're talking about the future, but we got a little bit of time. They got Beulah next week. Beulah's taking on a good Lee Scott team. Both those teams are undefeated, so that's a big one next week. That's a region game. Then you got Lee Scott coming up in a few weeks after that. So staying ahead, especially keeping up with the Lee Scotts, the Joneses, if you will, the Beulahs. You need to win a game like this at home when you're favored to win this game against Childersburg.
Absolutely. And you want a clean game. You did not want any turnovers tonight, and that was a little bit of a mistake right there on the punt play that gives Childersburg some life. But now you're going to depend on your defense to come through right here, and they do on that first play.
And Cameron Smith again, and the ball comes out
loose. Now are they going to call that a fumble? No, they're going to call him down.
I don't know if he was down there, Mike. I wonder if they just blew it dead.
Carter Ross, big defensive lineman for Glenwood right there, had a bear hug on the running back, and then he got some help. And that ball did pop loose, but I think they were on top of the pile, and they went ahead and called it down. But at any rate, a good minimal gain for the defense for Glenwood there. Don't want to give up anything right here off that turnover.
No, absolutely not. And if you're Childersburg, you're finding a tough time getting any type of traction up front. Now Jacobson's going to take the snap, going to hand it off again, and he gets hit as soon as he gets the ball. The defensive lineman was already in the backfield.
Emery Davis again.
Holy smokes.
I don't know if that was a line stun or if he just came off his block that quick, but that was a shot.
And now
the back is down.
Yeah, and Emery Davis, Jesus, between him and big number 55 for the Glenwood Gators, those guys are just eating up front. So we got an injury. We'll take a timeout. Glenwood on top of Childersburg, 7-0 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
My name is Sergeant Jason Swells, and this is my CVCC story. Class sizes were not too large. The professors in each class had time to talk. It was almost like a one-on-one experience. One of my daughters is a student at CVCC right now. She's going through the arts program. I've got another son who's right behind her who's about to graduate school, and he's already talking about going to CV, and he's ready for it. CVCC did prepare me for my career. They made sure you knew the subject before you walked out of the class, before you took the test. They dedicated 100% of themselves to it. It was a great experience, and I could say for anybody who's deciding or thinking about going into criminal justice, CVCC got my vote all day long because they're on top of their game.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC presents a fantastic lineup of popular full-size SUVs and mid-size trucks. Compare side by side. Take your choice from new Chevrolet Tahoes and GMC Yukons discounted up to $7,000 off. Or Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyons discounted up to $5,000 off. Experience unmatched durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect vehicle today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
We're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and Emery Davis shot through that like a cannon, Mike, and I would not want to be in the way of someone that big and fast. And the running back, and I think he kind of got his leg planted in there, Mike, we were just talking about. So we hope he's okay. 3rd down and long now. Jacobson, toss, sweep, and there he is again, taking him down. Number 13.
Was
13 and I think number
3.
Yeah,
I
number 3.
Number 3, Cam Cooper, turned that play in, and 13 was there again, Emory Davis, and they forced another 4th down. A big loss right there of about 5 or 6 yards. Puts them behind the sticks.
I don't think we've gave a player of the game. I know last week we did co-players of the game. One was offense and defense for the Pacelli game you did with Dave.
Right.
But I don't think it was just one player of the game. Any of the broadcasts we've done to defensive player. But if Emory Davis keeps playing the way he is, it's going to be hard not to put him in there.
He's having a night so far. That's for sure.
And then we got another timeout. We'll take another one, too. When we come back, it's 4th down and long here late in the first, on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the 2 here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season. Welcome back, everyone, through Barringer, Mike, Peacock. Lee Scott leads Beulah 7-0, and Columbus and Jordan, the oldest rivalry in our Tri-City area in a battle of wills.
The ball is in the air for the first time.
Jacobson throwing it, and are they going to get – it was uncatchable. He was looking for the running back, Cameron Smith, but just didn't get enough air on it, not enough buster, and that's a turnover on downs, Mike.
Yeah, I tell you, and that was pretty good defense, and I didn't see the number of the defensive back there for Glenwood, but he had his position on the inside, and the receiver was trying to go back through him, so there wasn't really any interference there. And you said the ball was uncatchable, so there wouldn't have been a call anyway. But really good job of the defensive back of keeping his position and not letting the receiver come back to the ball.
So now here comes Levi Pender and the Glenwood Gators offense. Brown in the backfield, Mason McCrane to the near side. On the far side is River Baker. Both guys standing over 6'2". Pender takes the snap. It's going to hand it off. Nope, it's going to keep it. And there goes Levi Pender. Good blocking from Mason McCrane. And able to get a first down. He faked me out there. I was expecting Brown, but the zone read. And he read the defensive end beautifully, and that's a first down, Gators.
Really good job by Pender there. As he saw what he needed to see. Usually, when you're teaching that play, you've got a player that you're keying on as the quarterback, and when you see him move one way or the other, you know whether you're going to give it or whether you're going to keep it.
Right.
And he made a perfect read right there.
So Pender, the senior quarterback, who was the backup last year to Dallas Crow, had to play in the state championship game because Crow got hurt. And there goes Jermaine Brown. And Brown runs over a man.
Terrence Hood, the little recipient of that little stiff arm or stiff shoulder, as it was right there.
He runs so hard, so fast. He has been a huge pickup for this Gators offense for sure.
About an 8-yard gain right there. Childersburg running some people on and off on the defensive side, trying to stay fresh here, trying to find a combination to slow down this Gator offense.
And hand off to Brown. Brown
another good hole, runs over another player.
And that's another Glenwood Gators first down, Mike. He is a tough load to bring down.
Anthony Grisdale right there. He had just come off a block, Thrift, and really wasn't in position to take on Brown, but Brown just ran through him anyway. And, big first down for Glenwood here. And this is exactly, I was going to bring this up. Glenwood did exactly what they needed to do on the defensive side of the ball after the turnover, and shut Childersburg down, and now they're doing what they need to do to respond to getting the ball back, and they're driving down the field.
And they're handing it off, and now this time it's Makai Simpson. And Simpson still on his feet.
Good move.
And Makai Simpson gashes Childersburg for another first down.
And the safety, Terrence Hood, with a literal shoestring tackle right there, probably saved a touchdown.
So between Simpson and Brown, and Simpson's going to stay in, what a duo they have here for the Gators. Pender going to hand it off to Simpson. Simpson's got a big hole. Simpson
still moving his feet, still going forward.
But the only problem with that is, Mike, and I saw this last night with Hardaway and Shaw, is that you keep moving the pile, but then you sometimes focus on your legs instead of that football security, and that's where turnovers happen.
Ask Jarquez Hunter. That happened last week in the Cal game. He was trying to gain some extra yardage. And Luke Deal said after the game that he missed a block.
Yeah.
And that was his fault. But the guys came in and stripped the ball away from him as he was trying to move forward in the line of scrimmage. And that does happen sometimes.
Hand off. What a spin move. Simpson
wow.
cuts back into the hole, still on his feet. There goes Simpson. Runs over a man. First down, Gators.
Down inside the 10. What a nice run right there.
They run hard.
Simpson.
They run hard, Mike, and they're also elusive. They got the traction. Even while it's wet, they're able to still cut here on this field. That shows you the athletic ability of Simpson and our guy, Jermaine Brown. First down for the Gators right at the 11-yard line. Hand off to Simpson. Simpson's going to walk in and
fumble.
loses the ball. There is a flag, but they're going to say he broke the plane first.
Yeah.
Touchdown. But let's see what the flag is there, Mike. That looked kind of awkward. But he did go over the top of the defender, so maybe he landed in there. But
it is holding on Glenwood.
But they're going to bring it back anyway.
And, the bad part about that, Thrift, is that was way behind the play. Shouldn't have happened.
And as a former coach,
it drives you nuts.
Does it?
It absolutely drives you nuts.
Because why are you holding at that point? Because he can't make a play.
The play's gone. Get off your block and get away from him.
Right.
Don't get caught doing something dumb. Sometimes when the other team, the players are smart enough to bait you into doing that, and when you take that bait, you're just like, holy cow.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be first down and about 18, I think. Not the full 20, but hand off to Simpson again. And Simpson
good cut.
Going to go all the way untouched. 6 on the board for the Glenwood Gators. This time Simpson gets the touchdown.
Terrence Hood was going to be the only guy that had a chance to stop him right there. And when he tried to plant and go back to get in front of him, he lost his footing, and that was it. And he got into the end zone easily right there. But a great cut early in that run got him into the end zone.
So Carter Hughes will bring on the extra point, but another great drive for the Glenwood Gators. And they're actually going to go for two, and that's going to be a 2-point conversion. And look at that young man run. He's super excited. Let me give him a shout-out, Mike. That's Tanner Pickering. How about Tanner getting a 2-point conversion? No, that's not Tanner Pickering. Sorry, that's Cam Dawson. My bad, Cam. Great job right there, the young man, Cam, who's a junior, getting the 2-point conversion.
They caught Childersburg napping a little bit right there, kind of nonchalanting the extra point try. And, they're trained. When you see that, you can make a little quick call right there, and you're going to run that play.
We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. If you're going to go buy a car truck, you want a great car truck buying experience. When you walk in the dealership, you don't want to feel like you're getting taken advantage of. Go see why. They say get ready to smile. We'll have a live show in the Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC showroom coming up September the 28th, and I'm hoping I can talk my guy Mike Peacock to making an appearance on the Georgia-Alabama Sports Live show up there that Saturday. Looking forward to doing that, and that's also the same Saturday Auburn plays Oklahoma, so I'm a feeling that maybe Mike will already be that area.
I will be in the area.
So maybe we'll have a Mike Peacock showing, but GlennSmithChevrolet.com. That's GlennSmithGMCChevrolet.com. See all the inventory. See what everybody says. Get ready to smile. Gators up 15-0 now. And if you're Childersburg, you need something where take time off the clock and try to get some points on the board here, Mike, because if you start getting down 3-4 touchdowns, it's going to be insurmountable, especially the way you play offense. That's going to be returned for not much there on the return, Devontae Fairman.
But, every drive, Thrift, with the with the sort of pooch short kicks, Childersburg's had decent field position on every drive.
Yep.
But they've gone backwards every single time they've had the ball. Either it's been a penalty or it's been the Glenwood defense. They had a couple of successful plays, but then they've gone backwards.
Exactly.
And that's what they're trying so hard to eliminate that and keep the positive flow going and positive plays going forward, not going backward.
Johnny Johnson is the head coach of Childersburg, and he's also the director of athletics, the Tigers, royal blue and white. And you got some history, by the way, and where they're located from our guy Mike Peacock, and we'll talk more about that as the broadcast continues on, as Jacobs is going to hand it off. And the running backs, by the time they touch the football, Mike, there's a guy in gray already there ready to meet them at the hole.
And, that's going probably, I haven't looked at the classes of the offensive linemen for Childersburg to see if they're young or if they're experienced. But the defensive line for Glenwood has some experienced kids on it. The linebackers are experienced, and they're getting off those blocks, and they are so much more physical right now than Childersburg's offensive line.
Right.
And they're just whipping them, just to be honest. They're just whipping them right now. And, Childersburg's got to come up with something to get some holes and some creases for their running backs to get into.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. And as Mike talked about, a dominating performance from that defensive line. And Glenwood leads 15-0 here. We'll take a break. Coming back, more action on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC presents a fantastic lineup of popular full-size SUVs and mid-size trucks. Compare side by side. Take your choice from new Chevrolet Tahoes and GMC Yukons, discounted up to $7,000 off. Or Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyons, discounted up to $5,000 off. Experience unmatched durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect vehicle today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain Dew!
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC offers popular full-size trucks with a legacy of strength and durability. Side by side, the new Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500s, discounted up to $13,000 off. Or big, heavy-duty Chevy and GMC 2500s, discounted up to $8,000 off. Rugged durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect truck today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
We're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It is the Glenwood Gators and the Childersburg Tigers, as Childersburg has the football. Mike, you had a score update. Got a big one happening between Auburn and Enterprise.
Auburn's up 6-0 in the first quarter at Enterprise. That's a big one. Also, Lee Scott has gone up 14-0 over Beulah in the first quarter there.
And how about that? The Gators, Josh Jacobson.
Wow.
Jacob Johnson, had nothing to do. I mean, he just, again, nowhere to go but backwards, and that's going to set up third in about a mile.
Wow.
And this is just dangerous territory now if you're Childersburg, because it's a must throwing down unless you're just going to go ahead and concede to punting at this point.
Yeah. They're going to have to come up with something right here to try to get some positive yardage to even get at a safe place to punt. They've had a little trouble on both of their previous punts. Glenwood's had a really good rush. You don't want to give them one here, but you also don't want to necessarily put the ball in the air and give them an easy interception either.
Exactly right. All right, here we go. And I'm thinking this is going to be a handoff, and it is.
Oh, wow.
And the
there's
defensive,
that man, Emory Davis. He was around the feet before the running back ever got the handoff.
He tackled the quarterback and the running back at the same time.
He did.
And you're seeing some of these Childersburg players getting up kind of gimpy because they're just taking a pounding right now from the Glenwood defensive ends and linebackers. They are just coming and just laying the wood on Childersburg. Now it's a punting situation. We've already seen one block. I would not be surprised if we see two, and it looks like Glenwood may even come after it because they know they can block it.
I was going to say they don't have a punter yet, but there he goes. He was probably – I think they were drawing straws to see who got to punt that time. Good snap that time, though, and it got the kickoff and kept it away from the back.
And it got a decent roll. It doesn't do much of the roll.
Until it hit a puddle.
And then it stopped. So Glenwood's going to start at the 49-yard line. Now, Mike, in games like this, and again, it's far from over.
Right.
But in games where you know you're pretty much in control of the game, what are you trying to work on offensively? Are you trying to stay the same mindset? Are you trying to work on new things? What would your mindset be, Mike?
My mindset would be to keep doing the same things that we do and try to improve on something every play.
Gotcha.
And then a little bit later, you're going to start trying to get some of your younger guys some reps as you go in. Probably not in the first half, but in the second half, you're going to try to get those guys some reps and keep doing the same thing, preaching the same thing to those guys as well. Ball security, assignment football.
Right.
Do what you're supposed to do. Do your job, and let's move it down the field.
We will have at the end of the game the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game. And looking forward to giving that. Thank you to Alex Quinney, the #1 All-State and the only All-State agent in the Phoenix City area.
Alex and a number of his guys just got back from Vegas.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun.
They do.
That is my guy, Alex Quinney. He was also high school game day today and was picking some games as Jermaine Brown gets about 6 yards on that opening carry. We will keep you up to date on the scores that are happening around. If you're watching right now, make sure you're liking us on Facebook. You're subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you're at home, every smart TV's got YouTube, Mike, and it's very easy to figure it out. Just type in Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and there goes Jermaine Brown, got blocking in front. Brown goes all the way down to the 25. You could have Brown and Simpson over the century mark before the end of this first half.
No doubt. They are running the football well, and there's really no need whatsoever to throw the football for Glenwood right now. They're having way too much success running the ball, and they're taking care of it. And that's just what they're going to keep doing, I believe, all night long.
Pender is going to hand it off again, and
there's
a look and breaks a tackle. And then may even got a face mask there, and there comes the flag. Mike, Childersburg's actually getting some hands on him early as he touches the football. Problem is they can't bring him down.
Well, Jackson Wheeler came, and I think he surprised himself how open he came, and it was one-on-one with Brown right there, and he didn't have his feet right in the right position to get leverage, and Brown just kind of bounced off of him, spun off of him, and ended up with a much bigger run. But he had a play in the backfield right there and just was not set to make a tackle. And that'll be something that'll come with experience. You'll learn how to go through that hole with your feet already ready. But he popped off that block and had a chance to make a big play right there and almost did. Waiting on the chains over there to get set up.
First down. Pender. Hand off to Brown. Brown makes a man miss. Brown race to the corner. Gets pushed out of bounds at the 6. And that'll be right at the first down mark, Mike. But Gators, not like you said, I don't see Levi throwing a pass unless they just try to do a zippity-doo-dah, catch you off guard play.
Right.
You're getting 10 yards of carry every time.
I don't even think you're going to need that tonight. I think you're just going to work on your running game, and you're going to run behind those offensive linemen.
But honestly, there's a first negative play for the Gators, and good job defensively for Childersburg. Backs them up 3 yards. Now it's third down, which could be a potential passing situation.
Cameron Smith with the main guy on the play right there for Childersburg in the backfield. Big loss. Third and about, 3 yards for the first down?
Yep.
And they're on about the 8-yard line, I believe, 7-8 yard line.
Want to say shout out to the guys that make this broadcast look so good. My guy Bane Robertson, the cameraman extraordinaire, and Brandon, the producer man Schwobel. I just gave him that nickname. Handoff, Simpson down to the 1, and there's first and goal,
First
Gators.
and goal. Really nice run right there and a nice cut to get inside the 5.
And I think Mr. Simpson's going to get another touch. And if you want me to give a prediction, I think it's going to be a touchdown.
Yep.
And there is going to be false start. So back him up 5 yards. Obviously, that upsets Coach Nelson. He wants to make sure his team stays very disciplined, not making too many mistakes.
Everybody wasn't set right there when they ran the play. One of the offensive linemen moved a little early.
So now it will be first down and goal from the 6. And there goes Simpson all the way in for another Glenwood Gators touchdown.
Well-blocked play right there. Big hole. It had a little bit of an escort till he got to about the 2-yard line. The Childersburg player made contact with him, but he just took him right into the end zone with him. And another touchdown for Glenwood.
And Gators, 3 possessions, 3 tutties. And it's 21-0. Last time we saw them do this, my man number 20, Carter Dawson, got himself a 2-point. Cam Dawson, got himself a 2-point conversion. But now here's Carter Hughes. Hughes up and good. And Glenwood leads 22-0. I want to go back a few weeks ago, Mike. Valley in that Glenwood game, which ultimately, by the end of the year, could be the game of the year, the way that game came down. But think about where that game has now taken Glenwood.
Oh, yeah.
If Glenwood does lose that down 20 points, how do they respond to Elba? Let's say they may lose that because they play Alvin Henderson, one of the top backs in the entire state. That one game could have changed the trajectory of the season, and that's how important these games are, Mike. But talk about the significance of winning that against a 5A Valley team, and to come back like they did, I think, has really helped them continue their success this season.
Well, that was the ultimate confidence builder for Glenwood, because I will tell you, the feeling of that game when they went down 20-0,
it wasn't looking good.
The place was deflated. It wasn't looking good. They needed something to happen. They made a couple of big plays, and they were like, wait a minute. Maybe we do still have a little spark in the tank
Maybe
here.
we can play with these
Yeah,
guys.
they get a touchdown. Then they get a turnover. They get another touchdown. And, it was next thing you know, we're in a ball game. And they just kept going and never quit. And then finally came away with that big win in the end. And a huge win for the Glenwood program. And you're right. It was like, shooting some what am I thinking of? The guys in the race cars that have some nitrous oxide.
Yeah.
It shot some nitrous into their engine, and they've been going full speed ever since.
And they have been unstoppable on offense since being shut out, like you talked about in that first half. And they have done nothing but come back, and then this slipperiness of the field will start Childersburg right at their about 23-yard line.
We'll give the tackle to number 21, the 21-yard line.
Good tackle by him.
It was – he tried to get going, and just the feet shot out from under him. And there's nothing you can do about that. I've had that feeling before many times.
All right, Childersburg's going to start the football. Jacob Johnson, the quarterback.
Got to get some more personnel on the field, and that one's got a clean uniform, so this is his first appearance tonight. I think they had to call a timeout because of their personnel there.
And we'll take 1-2. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain Dew!
We're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live as he gets leveled. Oh, but they're going to have a penalty. I wonder if there was some extra words being said from one of the Gators players.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct. And that's one thing, Thrift, that, again, that's another thing that'll drive you a little bit nuts, especially in a game like this. You do not want to give the other team yardage on silly penalties. And that was probably a silly penalty right there. You know, just keep your mouth shut and play the game. And I'm sure that was a comment after the tackle, but, you know, you can't do that.
So first down now for Childersburg. I think this is their first down of the game, and it came via penalty. Jacobson, handoff.
Oh, good
and
run.
Has a big hole, and that's going to be enough for a first down, but the ball comes out. They think they're going to say he's down, Mike. Jatavius Truss was on the carry.
Wesley McGrew, he very kind of late sort of laid down. I won't say he piled on, but he kind of laid down on top of the guy that recovered the fumble. That'll get some Snickers in the film watch session on Monday when they watch film. But that was, you know, that's the kind of play that Childersburg offense needs right there. They got a hole, their back hit it, made a good run, got them another first down. So they've got a little bit of momentum going right now. See if they can keep it or if Glenwood's defense takes it away from them.
They're going to hand it off to Truss again, and then he
lost
his footing there, Mike.
Yeah, he tried to make a cut, and you can see the mark in the grass. He slid probably about a good 2.5 feet right there, kind of tore up some turf a little bit with a skid mark and went down. So this is, you know, that's the perils of playing on a night like this when as much rain has fallen as has today. You're going to have a soggy go.
Carver leads Northside 26-0.
Wow.
Flint River, and Carver's putting everyone on notice, and maybe that also means that Harris County's a lot better than people think, beating Carver last week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, what a nice play right there off the edge.
Number 3.
That is Cam Cooper came off the edge in a hurry right there.
That's another one of those transfers. Flint River leads Calvary 14-0 at half, but those guys are coming, and they would lay the wood to me. And I'm a grown man, Mike. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Cam Cooper when he's moving that fast, putting his head down and just hitting whatever's in front of him.
Well, he saw that play, and he shot down the line of scrimmage and made a really, really nice tackle, hitting the guy about, you know, between the shoulder and the waist, and he wasn't going anywhere.
Jacobson on 3rd and long. He's going to go back to pass.
Oh, good block.
Excellent block, and he's going to throw it downfield, but that one's going to be intercepted.
It dropped.
No, it's not. And you talked about this, Mike, about the rolling out and the dangers of throwing it.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been easily a pick 6 there. And I can't tell what number that was that dropped that interception. Yeah, number 21.
21, yeah. That is that's Wesley McGrew.
You just mentioned his
Just
name. And
mentioned
McGrew
his
almost
name.
had it. Pick 6, Mike. But excellent block there from Childersburg. Gave him enough time to throw it at least.
That's one of those, he's going to get, if they give helmet stickers, he's going to get a helmet sticker for that one because it was a really good block. Little decleater over there.
Decleated him for sure. Night has actually turned out fairly nice here, Mike, after the way it was just monsooning about 2 hours ago. And that one, it looks like it's blocked by his own player because he pushed him into him. No flag, and the Gators are going to start with excellent field position. McGrew was the one that they're going to get credit for the block. He's all over the place too.
Yeah, he came rushing through there, and I'm hoping that the punter's okay because the blocker basically threw him into the punter. He knocked him backwards and tripped over him, and that's the only way he got to the punter right there. So it wasn't a roughing call.
You saw Coach McConnell there talking with him and joking around saying, son, you could have had your first touchdown and you let it go right through your hands.
Yep, that is that could have been a big play. That could have been a highlight reel. But I tell you, for the players, Thrift, a lot of times, especially if you're on the winning team, playing on a wet field like this with all this water around is a lot of fun. It becomes a lot of fun. I can still remember, I'm 60 years old now, but I can still remember the last game of my 8th grade season of middle school football. We played in a driving rainstorm, and there was probably 2-3 inches of water all over our field, and we had a blast.
Right.
We beat a team that had beaten us handily early in the year. We were playing them for the second time. We beat them 26-0 that night, and we just had a blast. I mean, our attitude was totally different. We felt like we could play with them, and we were having fun because it was the last game of the year, and it was pouring down rain. And we were every time you hit the ground, you were splashing. Guys were sliding 10, 12 yards.
It's fun then.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. Now, if you're on the other end of that, sometimes it's not so fun.
No.
You're wanting to get this thing over with, so
you're
you
ready
can
to
go home and get dry.
Exactly right. The Gators in the swamp. Also want to say thank you to State Farm, Carol Purdue. And Miss Carol, her daughter went here. Elizabeth Purdue also played softball at Columbus State. Incredible athlete, was a 1,000-point scorer on the basketball team. Thank you to Miss Carol for her support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. As Pender's going to throw for the first time, get it out to McCrane. And I'm wondering if that's just to make sure, Levi Pender's arm still works because he's just been handing it off this whole half.
And while you're talking about Carol Purdue, bless her heart, Thrift. She's in Florida. Bless her heart.
I know.
I went by.
And I know she's probably watching this game right now.
Probably so. I went by her office this week with my job. I call on a lot of these insurance companies, and I went by Carol's office, and one of the girls in there said, I said, is Carol here? She said, no, Carol's in Florida. I said, God. Bless her heart.
I know, that's just a hard thing to do.
I hope she's having good weather.
And Jermaine Brown gets the first down there, but we love what Miss Carol does, and she has been a huge supporter of ours. Terry Johnson Agency, been supporting the community for over 30 years, and he does a great job for my insurance, Progressive, and we appreciate Terry Johnson's support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And obviously Pepsi. We got some Pepsi people here as that one goes right through the hands of River Baker. But we got Mountain Dew up here. We got Starry. We got Pepsi Zero. I mean, I'm not drinking anything else. If you like lemon lime soda, I don't even say the other one. I don't even know what the other one is because I'm drinking a Starry, Mike.
There you go.
Right there, River Baker.
And there is a difference.
There's a huge difference.
In lemon lime sodas. There is a difference.
And if you argue with your mama, don't argue with me. Second down and 10 now as Baker just kept his eyes off of the football on that pass. Hand off to Jermaine Brown, and Brown just look at his blockers. Look at the patience, and still on his feet and walks out of bounds. Oh, got some extracurricular going on over here. Pancake block. That pancake block 30 yards away from
the play.
You got to love it, Mike.
Got to love it. That's part of that having fun. But, the Glenwood coaching staff's proven how smart I am as a coach. I said they're not going to throw the ball tonight. Twice on this drive they've thrown the football. But they are going back to the running game now.
And Brown gets another positive 5 yards. Mike, you were been a part of championship teams. How important is that chemistry? And like you talked about winning a game like against Valley, and you keep building that momentum. It's a real thing in the locker room, is it not?
It's huge. And I'll go back to my years at Columbus State.
Yep.
I remember the 2 years that our women's basketball team in the early 2000s, 2000 season, 2001 season, the second year of that.
And Brown's just going to walk in for a touchdown, Mike, but continue.
Second year of that Thrift, they went 31-0 in the regular season. And the difference in that team and many of the other teams was that those girls had that chemistry throughout the whole season.
Right.
And Jay Sparks, a great athletic director at CSU now, great head coach, but he would give them time every day at practice. About the first 15 minutes when they got there, they spent that on the floor doing their stretching together, just talking and having fun and laughing at each other, making fun of each other.
Right.
The bus trips were hilarious with that group. I traveled with them a good bit. And they just had a good time with each other, and they were all close. They were all close-knit. And I believe this Glenwood team is taking off on that as well. I think they're all close. They're together, and they've all pulled together. It doesn't matter what their background is, how long they've been here. Everybody's accepted. Everybody's a part of this team, and they're all pulling in the same direction, and that is huge when you want to win a championship.
No doubt, and I'm seeing maybe a region – maybe even state championship winning team right before our eyes. The Gators lead 29-0. We're actually going to stay right here. I'm not even going to do that to my guy, Brandon Swobel. I was going to actually say let's go to break, but then he would have been saying, hurry up, commercial, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. By the way, I haven't mentioned them yet, and shame on me. CVCC Athletics, we are going to be home for all Pirates athletics. Basketball, baseball, softball. Mike, I'm definitely going to get you out there calling some of those games. Should be a lot of fun. We're actually going to drop our first coaches show next week. So I'm going to sit down with Joe Richardson, the girls coach, and Morris Scott, who was a longtime assistant coach at the D1 level coming from Louisiana Monroe, actually played Division I ball. This guy is a home run hire. He's going to take CVCC basketball back to the Richard Mahone days, and I really believe in Coach Scott. So looking forward to sitting down with both of them on the first CVCC coaches show only on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Spencer Luquire about to kick it off here.
Decent kick. Going to be
Line
returnable at the 30, the 35, the 40, and be careful with that football, young man.
He got it out away from his body there a little bit, didn't he?
That could be a recipe for disaster for the Glenwood Gators.
Good field position again for Childersburg, and they had a couple of successful plays last drive. They ended up in another punt, but, you've got to glean every nugget of positivity you can out of this game if you're Childersburg. If you have a good play, you got to make sure those kids know it was a good play. And, when you're having a season like these guys are, you just have to pick out those highlights,
right,
and dwell on them as much as you can and not dwell on the negativity. And it's hard to do sometimes.
And then find a goal within the game that may not be the outcome on the scoreboard, but something that you can use as a positive to then try to build that momentum, as I talked about earlier, for your season. Jacobson with Truss in the backfield. Jacobson's going to hand it off to Truss.
That's going to be a false start. The wideout out here.
And he
came out of his set position,
yep,
and he knew it right away. And that's one of those frustration things. He's frustrated with himself, and but I will tell you, the one thing, the quarterback for Childersburg obviously hasn't been on the ground very much because look at how white his jersey is.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And there's another one.
Yep.
And is that going to be, is that caused by the defense? Did the defense move first? Let's see what they're going to.
Simpson, I think.
They did call it a false
Mike,
start.
I ain't going to lie to you. If I was having to block someone like Makai Simpson or Davis, I'd probably move a little premature too.
No doubt.
Trying to get in stance before they blow right by me and go hit someone in the backfield 100 miles an hour.
That is a formidable defensive front all the way across.
Yes.
For Glenwood.
And it's been one of the reasons why they've been so successful on defense under the tutelage of defensive coordinator, longtime D coordinator Josh McConnell. And Truss is going to be blown up.
He was not touched. I don't know who had the assignment of trying to block him right there.
And he was just the reason why they had the false start.
Yeah.
And there's the reason why, Mike, because he is getting off the ball so quickly. They're not even getting out of their stance, and he's already in the backfield.
Yep.
Second down and 25. Glenwood plays Beulah next week. Everyone that's wondering, they play Lee Scott, I think October the 18th. Don't quote me on that. I will check that out here in a little bit. But I think they played the 18th because the week before is Brooks on Pacelli, the 11th. And they're on the road next week at Beulah. We will try to be there for that one. Jacobson's going to heave it.
He's
got
open.
a man wide open who's going to catch it. And he's going to take it to the 25, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Childersburg.
And
how about that?
There's your positive.
Devontae Fairman. And how about the throw from Jacobson?
Hey, it was a dime. And he saw him break open. He hit him perfect. And, even with the wet football, he was able to catch that ball and hold it and then made a couple of good moves. Did a really nice job of picking up a blocker early in that and then angled himself toward that far pylon over there, got himself in the end zone. So a really, really good play from Childersburg there.
And then on the flip side, Mike, when you're dominating like that on defense, it's hard as a coach to find things, hey, we got to improve. There you go. Now Coach McConnell can go and say, hey, you just saw what happened. I don't care if we're up 20 or 30. You need to stay focused and do your job.
Do your job.
So that's a coaching moment that allows Coach McConnell to continue to get his team better. But Jacobson's and the Tigers are going to go for two. Great play from them and Fairman. And he's going to throw it again. He's going to throw it to Fairman, and Fairman's going to catch it short of the goal line. Great defense. Actually,
good defense
incomplete
out there. That's 21 for the Gators.
The score to the Lee Scott game. Oh, excuse me. Lee Scott and Beulah are playing right now, and Lee Scott was winning. But Lee Scott Glenwood is October the 18th, so go ahead and circle that on your calendar. We're going to have game day here. We're going all out. Should be a great one. Could be between two undefeated teams, two top 10 teams in the Alabama Sports Writers poll. Glenwood comes in at number 9. I think Lee Scott was number 10. Don't quote me on that, but I know they're in the top 15 for sure, and they could be. I don't think anyone thought by the time those two teams play, and they'll be playing here at the Swamp, that in October both be undefeated, both be ranked in the Alabama Sports Writer. Nobody, and I mean no one, thought that was probably possible. I will say when we did our prediction show, Richard Holdridge and Noah Shelton said it was going to be a rough year for the Gators. They both predicted 4 wins and 5 wins respectively. I said 7-3, and I even think I'm going to be wrong because I just like what I see from these Gators, and that's why you don't listen to the pundits. You watch what happens on the field.
Yeah, Lee Scott is up 14-0 over Beulah right now in the second quarter. I don't know when the last update for that was, but Kendrick and Sumter County are tied at 14.
Okay.
Auburn is now up 22-7 over Enterprise.
Oh, Lee smokes. That's number 2 Enterprise in 7A. And by the way, I was thinking like in how they do in and I learned this last night, two-way classification of the GHSA. They take the top 2 teams from each region. The other teams get put in a pool, and they decide through like their winning percentage, their opponent's winning percentage, and their opponent's winning percentage, kind of like a BCS formula, to pick the other at-large teams. So how you win and how much you win by is of utmost importance. I bring that up because I thought Sumter County was going to be a team that be reckoned with, and they're having a tough time with Kendrick, so I don't think I was right on that one. They're going to hand it off to Jermaine Brown, and Brown sheds a tackle, like I've said many times here.
Block.
And then excellent blocking
Out
by
here.
River Baker. You like the blocking you've seen from those receivers, which is important.
And he carried out his block right there and got some extra yardage with that. That was a really nice job by River Baker of holding his block, staying on his block, and getting probably about 4 or 5 extra yards right there on that play.
I wish we could get the Columbus Jordan score.
The last one I have,
It's 2-0.
Columbus hit that 2-run homer in the first inning, and they're still up 2-0. They're throwing a shutout, which is good.
Pender under duress,
just
going to
kidding.
fire it to Jermaine Brown. Brown's got a
room.
lot of grass in front of him. Brown makes one man miss, runs over another, and gets a first down. There is a flag, though. But great job by Pender keeping his wits about him to find the open Brown.
I think that's going to be sideline interference. I think one of the coaches was out of the box and got in the official's way as he ran down the sideline. I think that's what that call is going to be.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to be the sideline warning on this first one or if it's actually going to be the penalty, but
I don't know if it was a player or you said it was a coach.
Yeah.
That may have gotten
it was
away
a
right there.
It was definitely a coach.
And now it's 10-0 Columbus over Jordan. The battle of two of the oldest schools in our area. Shout out to Jordan, my granddad, who was a longtime coach in our area, coach, many championships at Rothschild Middle School. I'm going to be honest, I think he's the greatest middle school coach. He had like a 50-game winning streak during football. Basketball won multiple championships. If you go on Rothschild and you see all those banners, that came from Larry Bush, but he was also a longtime coach at Jordan High School. So that's why I still have Jordan mean something to me, because the reason I love sports is because of Larry Bush, my granddad. Coach Bush, as they like to say. But Columbus High and Coach Peters in his first year taking over Coach Marino, trying to get his first win of his career, and he leads 10-0.
I was going to say the officials are not very good at math, because I think that comes from the end of the run.
Yeah, and it happened all the way down here at the 35.
That ended up being like a 40-yard penalty. And I was like, what are they doing?
You could hear also Coach Ron Nelson saying,
That's
no,
right. That's not right.
What are we doing right now?
So it is a first down.
So that happens because the penalty was on sideline warning, so it happened at the end of the play or during the play, and it's a spot foul. And the spot was way further up than Mike was talking about. I'm sitting here talking about Columbus Jordan, and the referees are marking off a 55-yard penalty.
I'm sitting here going, why are they way back there?
And there goes Brown. Brown still on his feet. Got to be careful with the
football. Protect that football.
And I think he may have lost a mouthpiece.
I saw something fly off. I'm not sure what it was. I think it may have been a piece of his glove, because if you look on his left hand there, he looks like he's got the remnants of a glove on his left hand, or either that or a tape job. I'm not sure which. Our good friend David Spitzmiller given us a score update. It is still 14-0 Flint River midway through the third quarter.
Calvary, just the offensive line, just having a tough time being able to move the football. They have not scored double digits in any of their games, and they've only had 2 touchdowns the entire season. And a lot of that has to do with, up front, they're very young, and they're just having a tough time blocking people, but they still have a chance. Only down 14-0. Here it's 29-6 with about a minute and 16 as that's a first down for Jermaine Brown. Moves the chains.
Glenwood would love to get a touchdown right here in this last minute and 14 seconds of the first half. They would love to get a touchdown here and pad that lead, and then that would give them a lot of opportunity in the second half to play some younger players and get some reps in.
Pender takes the snap. Pender going to fire to McCrane, who doesn't catch it. That was he had to make an adjustment in there, so that was going to be a tough catch. It did go through his hands, and then also the ball was kind of wobbly there, and obviously you understand with it being wet. But that was almost a touchdown. 2nd down and 10 now for the Gators.
It's hard to make that catch. I think he's down on himself over there as he's coming back to line of scrimmage. You can see he's kind of talking to himself coming back. He feels like he should have caught that ball. It was a well-thrown football.
Yeah.
And right where it needed to be for only his receiver to be able to catch it. And And, on a night like this, though, that's a tough catch to make.
We'll talk about McCrane here in just a moment as Levi Pender is going to throw again, and he's going to throw it deep and catching it all the way into the end zone for a touchdown is Cal Lawrence. Another beautifully thrown football for Levi Pender, and then Gators put up another touchdown on Childersburg. Great throw there from Levi Pender.
Really was.
We didn't think he was going to throw it, and Coach Nelson's like, y'all don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We're going to throw it 30 yards downfield.
It was like, I'm coaching this team. Shut up.
But can we talk a little bit about McCrane, Mason McCrane, who is going D1 for baseball, could play D1, D2 for basketball, and is an incredible athlete and probably could play D2 football. Guys like that, one, make me jealous because, just extremely good athletes.
You're sitting there. Do you have to be good at everything?
Everything you do.
Yeah.
And it's been impressive to see him. But the reason I brought him up is because I want this to be, and I think a lot of the coaches that we cover, they have the same mindset, Mike. It's okay to share athletes. It's okay to let your athletes play multiple sports.
Right.
Don't let them focus on just one thing, because obviously this may be helping him for toughness for baseball, whatever it may be. Let these athletes play as much as they can. And then I hear from all the other college coaches, they like athletes that play multiple sports. Mike, you know that.
They want them to have the competitive edge, and they want them to be good athletes all the way across the board. And, now in this age of specialization, you've got baseball people out there, no, we don't want them playing football. They're going to get hurt. You know what? They're going to be tougher on the baseball field as they come out there, and they're going to be more competitive.
Yep. Speaking of which, your son plays college baseball too,
Mike. He does. He's up at Snead State Community College in Boaz, Alabama, and really good program up there, having a good time this year, playing his final year of junior college baseball. But it's it's a commitment, and if you're going to be a college athlete, sometimes a lot of high school kids don't realize the type of commitment it takes to be a college athlete.
Yep.
And you learn that. And some freshmen, I saw it many times at CSU, kids would come in and they weren't ready.
Right.
They weren't ready for that commitment. They weren't ready for that level of commitment, and they didn't last.
Right.
But then when you had the ones that knew, been schooled, been coached on it, they knew about it, those were the ones that rose to the top.
It's a full-time job.
It is.
I played at West Georgia junior college basketball, and even then, it's a full-time job. You've got a full workload of classes. You've got to take at least 4. All right, and then on top of that, you got your practice, you got your games, and everything else. It can be a lot, and you got to stay disciplined, and it's not for everyone, which is okay. But you're right, having that mindset and understanding, and that's what Coach Fanning was talking about on High School Game Day. These athletes, they have the similar thing. They have to go to practice right after school, and they have to do their homework after that. It's usually 12, 13-hour days. That's a bad snap that's on the ground. And that's why we do what we do, Mike, giving exposure to these athletes because of the hard work and the time and the effort it takes to play at this level or even the next level.
I want to give the Childersburg quarterback credit right there. That was a smart play of not trying to make something.
How many times have you seen that, and then the ball goes flying again, and you give up a touchdown?
Yeah, so he just fell on it. He's like, I'm gonna make the right decision right here. I'm not gonna try to pick this thing up and run because they could knock it out of my hand or it could slip out of my hand and they get another touchdown.
Well, that's going to be the end of the first half that was dominated by Glenwood. They're up by 30. We'll take a break. It's all Gators here in the first half on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job is meeting patients every day. They will crack me up every day. They make my day better. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university. They actually take the time out for each student.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC presents a fantastic lineup of popular full-size SUVs and mid-size trucks. Compare side by side. Take your choice from new Chevrolet Tahoes and GMC Yukons, discounted up to $7,000 off. Or Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyons, discounted up to $5,000 off. Experience unmatched durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect vehicle today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain Dew!
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC offers popular full-size trucks with a legacy of strength and durability. Side by side, the new Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500s, discounted up to $13,000 off. Or big, heavy-duty Chevy and GMC 2500s, discounted up to $8,000 off. Rugged durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect truck today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Cincinnati fans, get those 50-50 raffle tickets out. As we're about to announce the winner. Jackpot tonight is $282. If this is your ticket, go to the cheer box to claim your prize. The winning ticket number is 1152688. That is 1152688. You will have one. Winning ticket number is 1152688. Anybody out there? 1152688. That is your ticket. Report to the cheer box to claim your $282 jackpot prize. Last call for ticket 1152688.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job is meeting patients every day. They will crack me up every day. They make my day better. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university. They actually take the time out for each student.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season.
Do we have a winner now? We have a winner. Go to the cheer box and claim your prize.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC presents a fantastic lineup of popular full-size SUVs and mid-size trucks. Compare side by side. Take your choice from new Chevrolet Tahoes and GMC Yukons, discounted up to $7,000 off. Or Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyons, discounted up to $5,000 off. Experience unmatched durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect vehicle today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain Dew!
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC offers popular full-size trucks with a legacy of strength and durability. Side by side, the new Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500s, discounted up to $13,000 off. Or big, heavy-duty Chevy and GMC 2500s, discounted up to $8,000 off. Rugged durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect truck today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
We're back here live from Glenwood as the Gators lead 36-6. We are going to trim 2 minutes off each of the quarters, Mike, to 10 minutes.
Yep.
And what are some of the things as a Glenwood coach, if you were one, Mike, what are some of the things you want to try to work on here in this second half up by 30?
Well, I want to get some younger players some reps in this second half. And I want them to keep the same mindset as the starters do.
Yeah.
I want to run the football. I want to control the football. I want to control the line of scrimmage, and I don't want to see a lot of step down between my 1s and 2s and 3s here as they go out.
We apologize. The windows are fogging up, and there's no way to get access to wipe the windows down. So
it's not because we have a lot of hot air in here. It's because the conditions are humid outside and the cooler air in here. It's called condensation.
Yes, and because of that, which was not a problem in that first half, but then we stopped talking with all the hot air and the windows started to fog up again. So Glenwood getting the football. So a loss there. And Levi Pender is not in at quarterback. So in at quarterback right now for the Gators is and handing it off to number 14, Josiah Clark. Jalen Stanley is the quarterback, the backup who's in right now. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, we do apologize, but nothing really we can do right now as we are high up in the air and there's no way to get the condensation off. So hopefully it just goes away. If not, bear with us. Stanley rolls, fires right through the hands of the young man Tyler Clarity. So I'm thinking McCrane's night's done, Brown's night's done, Levi Pender's night looks like he's done, and you were just talking about now you're starting to see some of those guys that maybe called on at some point this season might get some valuable experience. How important is it for those younger guys and the second team guys to get some valuable experience when they can during game action?
Oh, it's huge because you never know when you might have a guy go down that plays in front of these guys, and you want them to get as many reps as they can in game action so that they're a little bit seasoned if they're called on.
And they're going to have to punt it, and that's a booming punt that's going to go over the head and going to land in the end zone for a touchback. So we will have a running clock here, so it should be a fairly quick second half, and we're just going to have fun sitting here with Mike Peacock. And Mike, as a part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and you'll be doing more things with us, maybe some future shows coming up too. You've been in this business for a long time. You've seen a lot of things. You've coached a lot of different sports. What's so unique about football and why you love it so much? Because, you were the SID for Columbus State for quite some time. You were assistant coach and coach at Calvary and many other schools. But I feel like football is one of your first loves, is it not?
Well, football is just fun. To be honest with you, my main love is the game of baseball.
Yeah.
It always has been my entire life.
Yep.
I loved playing it. I loved watching it. I loved calling it. I loved, just about everything about it. But football was also something that I loved as well. I wasn't as good a football player as I was a baseball player.
Right.
But still love the sport. I love basketball. I'm the same way.
That's my number one sport.
I tried to be a 3-sport athlete coming up, and but football is just the strategy of the game of football and watching how plays are. Guys worked with a bunch of guys who drew plays up on napkins all the time, you know, and
Right.
then you get out there and see if you can actually make it work on the field against people. It's a lot of fun.
And that's going to be almost a first down carry. And Truss for Childersburg moves the chains.
A lot of clean uniforms on the field.
Yes.
You know, for Glenwood anyway.
But I think both coaches are like, all right, it's wet. It's a 30-point game. Glenwood's obviously going to win this. Let's just get through this half. Let's let some of the younger guys play, and let's try to get out of here with no injuries. I have no problem with Coach Nelson and the Childersburg coach making this decision, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. You know, if you're on the short end of this kind of game, you don't want to prolong it.
There's Truss.
It doesn't do your kids any good, but a good job Glenwood defense right there.
Yep.
And there is a timeout. That's going to be the midway point, I guess, of the quarter.
And we'll take a break,
Timeout.
and we'll come right back. It's 36-6 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown!
Woo! Mountain Dew.
And we're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We're trying to do everything we can to have not a foggy screen here. And this is back-to-back Fridays. Mike, you were in the rain, literally in the rain, outside you and Dave Plata for that Pacelli Stone Mountain. So at least we are indoors here.
Yes, and we're not having equipment malfunctions because of dripping water everywhere.
And Toygar says I still owe him an HDMI cord.
I thought Torgar was going to have a coronary with everything that was going on. But I tell you what, the guy that he is and the pro
great.
that he is,
He's unreal.
He got it right back going. You know, everything was good. It's just taking it in stride.
Yeah, these guys, Brandon, Toygar, Chris, I mean, they're one of a kind, and they have just made what we do here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live special as Truss gets 3 or 4 yards right at the yard marker for the first down. So it'll be 4th down now. And, nope, they're going to say first down. So they did give him the first down on that.
This is kind of fun here. I used to do this on the bus window going to school when it was kind of icy outside.
If
frosty.
you could see what's happening in here, we have about 10 hands on this window trying to defrost.
It just takes a little bit of warmth, and it'll actually cause the fog to go away. But it's you would think we were crazy if you could see this.
Low snap. Jacobs is still in the game.
Good job.
And good tackling there from the young man from Glenwood.
25. I don't. You have their roster over there. I don't know.
Yeah, number 25 for the Gators, Rhett English made the tackle. So the young man, Rhett.
But I tell you what, going back to my Childersburg stories, Thrift. First grade, Whitewood Elementary in Childersburg, I broke my arm. I broke my right arm, and I'm right-handed, and I'm in first grade. And what do you learn how to do in first grade? You learn how to write. So what did I do in first grade? I learned how to write left-handed. And I could write as good left-handed as I could right-handed. And then when I got my cast off, I went back to writing right-handed, and I want to kick myself every time I think about the fact that I could have grown up writing with both hands
Been ambidextrous.
if I had just stayed in practice back then in the first grade. But I wasn't going to let that big cast on my arm keep me from writing, so I just wrote with my other hand.
Jacobson and Childersburg on 3rd down and long. High snap, hands it off, and
big
got
play.
a big hole
Oh,
and runs into someone, then
That
gets
was
tackled for a loss.
It was his own man that he ran over there, about to make a block, and he just ran right up in the back of him and ran over his own teammate. And this is going to be a punt, I believe. They're bringing another football out. All right.
We think Mike is an MVP, and it's cleared enough of the fog for us to move the camera down. So, again, we apologize for this. This is what happens when you're streaming, and we're indoors. And as we continue to grow, we'll have more than one camera set up and obviously try to have one person running outside. But remember, we're only in our second year doing this. So if you want to be a sponsor to help us grow our broadcasts, all you got to do is DM me, Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and the punt's going to be away. Decent kick. Getting out of the way of it is Cam Dawson. He said, I am not falling for that. So now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gators as the clock's about to be down to a minute here in the third quarter. We appreciate all the support on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Got a busy week next week. The Gators, we featured them, the volleyball team, on Tuesday and Thursday. You're going to hear Coach Nelson and the Glenwood Coaches Show. Noah Shelton hosts that at Mike and Ed's Barbecue. So if you want to go in person or watch it, Georgia Alabama Sports Live, that's Mondays.
Mike and Ed's.
Love good Mike and Ed's
You
Barbecue.
can smell our butts from miles.
And
That used to be their T-shirt slogan.
I love Mike and Ed's Barbecue. Thank you to Chase Cook. Also to thank you to Judson Humphreys and Zaxby's. It's tailgating season. It's football season. Mike Peacock throws the best tailgating parties I've ever seen. People talk about it all the time, how they leave there a changed man or woman. How does he feed all these people, they ask?
Zaxby's.
He calls Zaxby's. And Judson Humphreys, we appreciate his support on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
But I tell everybody I cooked it myself.
Even the tacos?
Even the tacos.
That's the end of the third quarter. Glenwood leads 36-6. We got one more quarter to go here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown!
Woo! Mountain Dew.
We're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Mike Peacock, Thrift Barringer. Mike, you have seen a lot of the teams. I'm going to put you on the spot right now, okay? So sorry I have to do this. But we come out with our ratings. When we do our ratings, we say chance to win in your league, okay? That's number one criteria. If you got a good chance to win in your league, I don't care what league it is, that's where you're going to be ranked. Your strength of schedule within your league, your roster within your league, and then if we need a tiebreak here, we can do head-to-head. But obviously we're not doing head-to-head for like a Calvary and a Central. But yet, if Calvary had a better chance to win state, I would have them ahead of Central with our ratings. Out of all the teams in our coverage area, 16 of them, obviously Central's number one.
Yeah.
Who would be that number 2 team? Is it Harris County? Is it Glenwood? Who would be the number 2 team, in your opinion, from all the teams you've seen? As there's a great run from number 25. He's still on his feet. Great job by Red English moving the football,
absolutely.
the freshman.
Good run right there by Red English. But I tell you, Thrift, I've been really impressed with Harris County, although I've not been able to see them play in person. I've only seen some plays and some highlights.
Right.
I'm really impressed with what Glenwood is doing. And, you know, yes, this is their first season in the public school league, but they have come out and they've built confidence week after week, and they're doing a really nice job of getting this thing rolling in the public school league. And they they are a good football team and a good play right there by the quarterback. Was that a quarterback keeper or was that a jet?
No, I think that was a quarterback keeper. It's Braylon Alexander, who's now an 8th grader who's playing quarterback. So they played the sophomore backup, junior backup, Jalen Stanley, and now the 8th grader, Braylon Alexander's getting some valuable minutes here, Mike.
Yeah, and but you know, I think it would be between Harris County and Glenwood at this point for that.
But how about Carver taking care of business against Northside? But you know, they didn't look great. This is obviously their best game they played all season.
Right.
To win 26-0, that's the most points they've scored.
They
look really good.
Put together a complete game tonight.
Yeah. And they had a week to prepare with the bye week and stuff. But can't wait to see how the rest of this season is going to unfold for sure. Alexander.
I'll tell you, I know they're outside our area, but another impressive football team that I've seen a good bit of highlights from and the scores that they've put up and the teams they played is Auburn High.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're handling Enterprise tonight. You know, Enterprise has scored some points finally, but Auburn's been impressive. And I think the showdown between Auburn and Central, when that comes up, is going to be a really good football game.
I completely agree, and can't wait for that. And there's going to be a timeout for Coach Nelson. We got 7:49 remaining here in the fourth. We'll be back after this. We're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. A high snap, and now having his red English, and he's just going to fall down and have to take that loss.
Yeah.
3rd and short turns down to 4th down and long.
That was just an unfortunate high snap off the quarterback's hands, right into the hands of Red English. And by the time that he got control of the football, there were white jerseys around, and he just had to go down back there.
Cheerleaders have been excellent tonight. Shout out to Mandy Marriott, the cheerleading coach. The volleyball teams look really good with Coach Strink. Cross country's got a match coming up. Just excellent things happen around the Glenwood campus. Headmaster Davidson's doing a great job. Athletic Director Tim Fanning has done an excellent job leading this program for so long. And I've just been impressed what I've seen from Glenwood.
Tell you, Red English, impressive running the football.
Yeah.
He keeps those legs going, keeps upfield. He's had an impressive run. I mean, even right there in traffic, he was moving that pile a little bit before they finally stopped his motion and got him down. But that's the kind of effort you want to see out of your young kids in a game like this when you put them out there.
Yeah.
You want them to give that kind of effort. You want them to have their heart and soul into it. You want them to do – you don't want them out there just going through the motions and going, I finally got to play, or something like that. You want them into the game and really getting after it.
You can watch the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show this Sunday night. We also got high school basketball at the CB Hoops Purple Practice Fall League. Saw some excellent games last week. That comes up on Sunday as the Gators will be taking on Beulah next week. They were losing to Lee Scott last time we saw. I know Coach Jesse Purdue, which I can't wait for his basketball teams this year, playing in the new HSAA. He's got some new players, and we know how great of a coach Coach Purdue is. Just got inducted into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame this past year.
Boy, does he come from a pedigree of coaches.
Oh, yes, he does. Both his mom and dad, Bubba Ball and Debbie Ball, who just got a field named after her at Shaw High School. But from between softball and basketball, Coach Purdue has double-digit state championships. It's hard not to put someone with that much winning in a Hall of Fame, Mike.
No doubt. No doubt.
24-7, Lee Scott leads Beulah. So Beulah will have a loss next week when Glenwood goes in 4-0. But don't think because Lee Scott beat Beulah that Beulah is going to be easy to take down if you're the Gators. Next time Glenwood will be at home is on October the 4th. They play Randolph County here at Glenwood.
That's going to be a good game. Randolph County, you know, they've been up and down, but the last few years they're always a tough football team to play.
Well, they're undefeated right now, 2-0. So this is who Glenwood's got. They got Beulah next week. Wadley, who is undefeated out of Wadley, Alabama.
Wadley is a 1A team, and they are very good, and they've had a very good program the last few years. That'll be a tough game because Wadley has some talent.
So they got Beulah, Wadley, Randolph Clay at Dadeville, Lee Scott at home, and then Sylacauga to wrap up the season for the Gators. And taking the football, running it out, and having a lot of space as he gets out of bounds. That was number 11 for Fairman, who already had a catch for a touchdown, Mike.
Yep.
One of the few positives that Childersburg had back in that first half.
Running some Wildcat-type quarterback now. He obviously is probably the backup quarterback, and he's getting some reps at quarterback this time and doing a lot of running out of that position.
And he's actually playing quarterback right now. In the backfield with him is number 24, Kevin Chapman. And
he's going to keep it again, go up the middle.
And
oh,
Fairman
good tackle.
Gets hit hard.
That was how you draw it up. You know, if you want a form tackle right there, that was how you do it. And that was number 24.
Yeah, number 24, Tyler Clarity. Shout out to my guy, Coach Clarity. All his sons go here. We're going to have, in just a moment, me and Mike are going to promote and talk about the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game.
Player of the Game.
And we got one. And handoff. Chapman's got it. Gets the first down. And it'll be first and goal for the Tigers.
Now,
Childersburg.
Here's where you're going to challenge these youngsters.
And there's going to be an unsportsmanlike.
That flag came out. That is going to be an unsportsmanlike, but against whom? It's against Childersburg. Oh, it's offsetting. Never mind.
Yeah, they're going to say 2 unsportsmanlike on each team.
Little jawing at each other. I coached against Childersburg back in my days at Benjamin Russell. We played them in – we didn't play them in varsity ball, but we did play them in freshman and things like that.
Hand off to Chapman. Chapman's going to bounce to the outside and get a touchdown.
Get a touchdown, yep.
And Childersburg will get on the board once again to cut into the lead, but
and again,
36-12.
If you're the Childersburg coaching staff, it doesn't matter which unit you scored against. You scored another touchdown. You've got to take that as a positive and take that as a win when you can. You got to take it. You know, every little nugget you can gain from this, you got to take it. And some kids did a good job on that play. They did a good job on that drive. You know, coaches have got to, you know, remember, stay positive as much as you can. You're growing this thing and trying to get them better.
Whenever he gets open. So we're going to give our player of the game whenever we can find him, as he's talking with his teammates. And they're going to actually go for 2, but see if we can't find him here. And there he goes. He's number 13. That's actually number 1, Makai Simpson. And there he is, Emory Davis.
Emory Davis.
The Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game. Thank you, Bane. Me and Mike were talking about it. He set the tone right at the beginning. The way he was shooting through those gaps, laying the wood, and just had a fantastic game. Great blocking, too. And they're going to go for 2, and he's going to get in for 2.
Yep.
But Emory Davis was fantastic today, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, he was very good against Valley, too. Made some big hits and some big plays in that game. And I'm sure he did against Elba and against B.B. Comer last week. I'm sure he made a lot of plays in that game because he is a defensive playmaker for the Gators. I mean, he is strong on that defensive front. He is quick. And he does not mind contact one bit.
Not at all. And he has been a bright spot. The newcomer, Emory Davis, will be your Alex Quinney All-State Player of the Game. So great job by him. Thank you to Alex Quinney for his support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And the clock's probably going to run out here as they'll return the kick. They're nil. And the Gators are going to go, I can't believe I'm saying this, 4-0 to start their 2024 campaign in the AHS AA. And I know Coach Nelson has been talking about this. He didn't care who believed in him, to be honest with you. He believed in his own team. And you talk about this, Mike. No, these coaches don't care what pundits say.
Exactly.
They know what their team has, and they got a good team here, and they think they actually can make a deep run in the playoffs. And, heck, why not? So we got some great – actually, we don't. I'm going to be honest with you. There was 2 ranked games this weekend in college football. One of them's tonight. It's Arizona, Kansas State. And then we got Boston College. Bill O'Brien, his first year, got Boston College ranked.
Let me ask you a question.
In Missouri.
Who ended up winning the Texas State-Arizona State game last night?
It was Arizona State.
They came back and won.
And they were celebrating. Kenny Dillingham was chest bumping his quarterback.
I went to bed before it was over and didn't know who won, but that was a good football game.
Yeah.
Texas State has got some talent.
They do. And Arizona State, where they were celebrating, had me thinking, do y'all play in the Big 12 or do y'all play in the Sun Belt? But that's neither here nor there, as the clock's going to run down, and Coach Nelson's Glenwood Gators going to get a big-time win, their first win in region play, second win in region play. They'll go to 2-0 in region, 4-0 on the season. Emory Davis is the Alex Quinney All-State Player of the Game. Any other final thoughts from this one, Mike?
Yeah, well, you know, Glenwood is now 2-0 at home. They're 2-0 on the road.
Yep.
You couldn't script this any better for the Glenwood program to get off to this kind of start. And they've got a lot of momentum going into next week. I look for them to win. I'm really not sure when they're going to be soundly tested, maybe until Lee Scott or Randolph County. I think those are going to be 2 testers that they have coming up. But they're going to have they've almost ensured themselves of a winning season.
No doubt about it, and maybe ensuring themselves of making the playoffs this
Absolutely.
year. Which I don't think a lot of people thought could happen in year one and making the transition to the public school sector. But a great win. Good job by the offensive line. Defense was stout. And the Gators get a big one against Childersburg. They'll be back on the road next week against Beulah. Thank you to Brandon Swobel and Bane Robinson for bringing us the production we need.
Real quick, you know who they're going to be the hero of this game tonight?
Who's that?
Whoever does the laundry.
From Mike Peacock, I'm Thrift Barringer saying thank you to our sponsors, Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC, Pepsi, CVCC, Zaxby's, Terry Johnson HC, and State Farm. Carol Purdue. From everybody watching, good night. Stay safe. We'll see you next time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Gators win.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain!